I think I might know why practicing the law of assumption consciously is so challenging for you. It's because you're not looking at the big picture. What even is the law of assumption in the context of all of the other laws of the universe? Well, if you look at the seven Hermetic principles, you will realize that the law of assumption is actually a secondary law to the first Hermetic principle, all is mind. That first Hermetic principle of mentalism essentially says that everything that is on the screen of the mind must be projected outward. And so we understand this in the law of assumption community as whatever is in our 4D imagination consciousness will be projected outwards in our 3D, our reality. And that is all well and good. But what happens when you are on the brink of spiraling? What do you do when you have been holding a vision on the screen of your mind for a long time, it feels like, and you're still not experiencing it with your five senses in your 3D? What do you do then? Do you start to spiral and question why manifestation isn't working for you, why you are the only exception in the history of all mankind that cannot get manifestation to work for you? What's going on? Well, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize there are six other principles, not just the first Hermetic principle of mentalism, right? And the fifth principle has been revolutionary for me personally to understand, and that is the principle of rhythm. When I started to understand the law of rhythm on a deep level, and I was no longer afraid of the ebb and the flow of life, the peaks and the valleys that I would experience, I started manifesting with more ease, with more joy, and things seemed to be happening a lot faster. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people forget the law of rhythm. They don't remember this fundamental element of life that things must go in and out. Think of the tides. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. That was an excerpt from the book The Kabbalion, which summarizes these seven ancient Hermetic principles in very simple terms. And I highly recommend you go read it because when I read it, a lot of things clicked for me that did not click before. And even if you have read it many times, go read it again because the ancient wisdom in this book will ground you and remind you of how this world works. And you won't stress yourself out as much if you actually understand these words. Anyway, I want to get back to the point of this video, which is understanding that it's okay if you are not seeing movement. It is okay if it looks like everything is completely stagnant and stuck and you feel trapped. Do not do anything to try to force your manifestation to come to fruition. Relax, pause, take a deep breath, and understand this law of rhythm is always at play. And if you can stay in a neutral zone as much as possible and not freak out, you will be very grateful and very pleasantly surprised at how quickly things unfold in your favor. So I just want to take this opportunity to remind you of this natural rhythm of life. It is normal, it is natural, and let's work with it instead of working against it and spiraling because of it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you manifested your dream relationship, your relationship with your SP or someone brand new that you're super excited about. You're going to realize that that person is going to come in and out of your reality. Even if you are married and live together, they're likely going to go out of the house and do things. And you are going to trust that they are going to come back and continue to live with you, right? There is a natural incoming and outgoing of that person's presence in your life. Are you going to freak out every time they leave the house? No, you're not. Even when you do not have physical evidence that they are in your reality, you are holding the vision of that relationship being an amazing, thriving, fulfilling relationship, even when they are not physically right next to you. You might be watching this right now and thinking that I'm stating the obvious, but pause and reflect on every time that you have had a negative thought spiral. it was likely because you were catastrophizing and not reminding yourself of these very obvious facts that we forget when we are in a state of panic or worry. Absolutely everything comes and goes. Think about breathing. The air you breathe in and the air you breathe out. Things are always moving, things are always changing, and we're never actually stuck, stagnant, or at a stalemate of any kind, even when our human perception is telling us that is the case. Do not let your senses deceive you. Have faith and stay calm. Regulate your nervous system in whatever way is healthy and feels good to you. I love breath work. I love emotional freedom technique, tapping. You can do whatever works for you. It could be journaling, it could just be going outside for a walk, hanging out with your pets, calling a friend. Do something to maintain a neutral, calm state and remind yourself that everything has a natural rhythm in life. You're not behind, you're not doing anything wrong. Things aren't going to be like this forever. They have to keep changing, they have to keep moving. I never want you to neglect your own well being or your mental health in the name of manifesting something. Use the law of assumption responsibly and allow yourself to rest, rejuvenate, and in that space in between the incoming and the outgoing, regulate. And I really, truly think this will help you to remember this. I love you all so much. If you made it this far and you have never watched a video on my channel before, hi, I'm Gigi, and you must have enjoyed it if you made it this far. So I hope you stick around and join our private, free manifestation community called the Journey Fam group chat. And I love you all. I will see you next time. Bye.